And welcome back to the Denver Sports Betting Show presented to you by CD's Wings. Once again, I am Gilly, along still with our boy Shamlocks, Dylan, and Ryan. Boys, let's talk some college football players. Ryan, I'm going to leave you out of the conversation for now, man, okay? Because listen, I know you're...
I'm listening. These guys are money right here.
Make money. Yes. And again, I fully am on board. As you know, I got the Prime shirt on, so my boys CU didn't, they did what they could, and they turned an organization around. Besides that, Dylan, what do you got for the first game you got coming up with the Notre Dame before we get to Sham?
I've been wondering what side I'm going to pick on this. I lean Notre Dame. I had them to win the national championship when the playoffs were announced.
Yes.
But I'm going to be taking the under 45 here. You saw Notre Dame last game. They played Georgia. They did score 23 points, but 3 of those were field goals, and they struggled with kicking all year. And also one of those was a 98-yard kick return. And if you take those away, they didn't score much. In Penn State, you saw what they held Ginny to, only 3.7 yards per carry. One of the Heisman candidates. And then you have Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame, not going to be 100%, wearing a knee brace in practice. And Notre Dame's main offense is to run the ball. And I think you're going to need Riley Leonard to kind of break out runs here. But I think this game stays really low scoring. Penn State doesn't have much on the offensive side either to match with Notre Dame's defense besides maybe Tyler Warren at tight end, who's just big. That guy, he can just run through everyone. I mean, they give it to him on handoffs and everything. I think the spread is right being 1.5. I don't think this is going to be a blowout by any means, but I think this game stays close. I think it stays low scoring. I could see like a 3-point game, maybe 13-10, 16-13, 16-10 here.
But you noticed you mentioned something very interesting about the tight end right on Penn State, because I think every sharp kind of knows that that's their go-to is their tight end, right? And Notre Dame's going to be no different. With the strong secondary, Notre Dame has a phenomenal defense, no question about it. And I think there's no question, dude, that Notre Dame covers this without a doubt. Sham, I'm going to cross over to you, man, because I know you puff up your chest, baby. Puff your chest up, man. Listen, Sham was in Notre Dame, and this boy was over there gigging, dude. It was cold. That game was cold, too, right?
It was a blast. Yeah, I was at Notre Dame, Indiana. Fun game, cold game, but, had the little alcohol blanket on, so we stayed warm. But
good, man.
I'm nervous for this game, and I think, Penn State's a team that all year, this game was like week 8. Neutral site, I think Notre Dame is the better team, deserves to be favored. I'm just a little bit nervous for Notre Dame on how much gas they have left in the tank, because Penn State's getting 2 extra days. I'm not making excuses. I'm giving reasoning. Penn State played New Year's Eve. Notre Dame, obviously had that tragedy in New Orleans, had to back it up. So they're 2 days behind already with rest, recovery, and prep. All right, so they're at a disadvantage there. And as Dylan mentioned, they're banged up. They've lost. You wonder if these injuries are going to catch up to them. When you're down your best offensive player, you're down your best defensive player in Harrison, who is going to be a first-round draft pick. You're down your second best defensive player in Riley Mills, and Howard Cross is 100%. So that's my trepidation there, where I'm a little nervous about this game.
Bro, did you just say trepidation?
Trepidation.
Bro, I like that, man. That's
somebody look that up. Make sure I use it right.
Google that straight up.
I don't even know how to spell that.
Good thing for Notre Dame though is again they run a slow and precise game though, right? Because again they do lead with the rush.
That's where I'm with. So Dylan on the under. I think under 45. Try to get 45 is a key number. So get under that 45. As far as the side goes, personally, I'm with Dylan. I've got a future on Notre Dame. Hopefully they get this done. But man, it's hard. It's really. I think the biggest thing for Notre Dame though is they've been Freeman. They've been aggressive, right? And Franklin, we know what happens in these big games. He turtles, all right. And Koldenicki, they brought him in as the offensive coordinator for Penn State, right? And that was supposed to be the difference maker. But Penn State has not seen a defense like this. They had to play SMU and Boise leading into this, and Notre Dame had just got in a war with Georgia. So that's my concern, but that's where I think that Al Golden, who's the Notre Dame defensive coordinator, is one of the best at it. He's going to give looks, can confuse Aller, but they got, again, similar. These teams are kind of mirror images, Spider-Man memes.
That's why
similar, like you said, right? So, give me Notre Dame, give me the Irish, and what I think is going to be a really, really tight game. Prop, I have Jordan Faison, first TD, plus 1,700, because, as I said, I think Notre Dame's going to come out aggressive here, because everybody's expecting, let's run the ball, let's kind of battle each other, see you can kind of make a mistake first. But Freeman's got that aggressive nature in him, and I think they're going to dial up. I wouldn't be surprised. First play of the game, first drive, little play action. Faison's their man beater. He's going to go deep. He hit a deep shot against IU. Give me Jordan Faison plus 1,700 is a nice little prop, first TD scorer. And if that happens, If Notre Dame gets the lead, it's going to be really hard for Penn State to come from behind. They're not built to come from behind.
I love it, man. And like I said, I'm not going to put you on blast by any means because, again, you know your Notre Dame football, absolutely. So, listen, if there's any prop bet you want to listen to, Sham's been watching these boys day one, dude, right? You were born in a gold helmet, I think, right?
Just got, for the college props, come on, Colorado, get with it. You got to drive a little north to the border to get in a college player prop. Call a buddy in a different state because they don't have college player props here. What's going on, Gilly? You're on that kid. Make that happen.
Well, it's odd, man.
Make a phone call.
Well, I was looking, and I'm like, man, I don't even see a first touchdown, line for this game for Notre Dame because I was like, I'm gonna lock it in right now.
Got to hit on I-25. Head north. Wyoming, you can't.
Yeah, I can't even.
Got to make a phone call.
Look at it. Yeah. Ryan, you got anything for this game, man?
I follow these guys. These guys have made me money. Like, I'm not a big college football. I'll watch it, but like I'm not into it. But these guys have made me money, so that's the main thing. Like, I just follow them. That's it.
I ain't mad at you, man. I said Sham, dude, he be killing it, man. And Dylan, I'm not gonna discredit you by any means, but I'm just saying Sham is I usually follow him, man. No question. Give me Notre Dame -1.5 at -108. Dude, I love Notre Dame in this game. I think that they have defense wins game. Always stand on. I'm a defensive-minded guy when it comes to, especially the NFL. Defense wins games, and I think Notre Dame has a defense to stop them. Like I said, Penn State, they have their tight end, and I think everybody knows that. In this line, I don't know, man. I'd be surprised if it drops down to maybe even a 1, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it was at 2.5 yesterday. I mean, it's been bouncing around. I'd be the biggest thing for Notre Dame too. Mitch Jeter, their kicker, was hurt most of this year. He's come back. You saw 3 kicks over 40 yards against Georgia. It was huge for him. Made a 40+ yarder against IU. Money Mitch could be the difference as well too. So, and
then we know Penn State's no Georgia at this point. Let's cruise on over the Ohio State and Texas, man. Listen, right off the bat, I'm going Texas +5.5 at -106, man. Like I said, I like Texas. Quinn Ewers, I think that boy's the truth, right? Again, you talk about defense, wins games, but I honestly think Quinn Ewers is the guy, and I think he can ultimately control the pace on this game. Give me Texas. Let's go. Get money, get paid. Dylan, what you got for this game, man?
I could see either way. I'm gonna take Ohio State -5.5 here. I just think the rhythm they're in. Will Howard, the receivers, it's almost unstoppable. And I think the one way Texas can beat them though is you're gonna have to force Will Howard into turnovers early, really get pressure on him, just like Michigan did, kind of punch Ohio State in the mouth. You saw they forced those 2 interceptions in Michigan territory early on in the game and got good field position and were able to capitalize on that with basically no passing game the whole game. So, and Texas has Quinn Ewers, like you said, a passing game. So I think that is a path to victory to them, but it's really going to depend on if they can execute that. We saw them almost blow a lead to Arizona State last week, and this offense is way better than Arizona State. The receivers are way better. Jeremiah Smith is a probably generational talent, and what he's been doing on the receiving end has been incredible, and I don't think there's any way Texas can stop him no matter who they put in front of him.
I love it, man. I said, like, that's what, again, I don't necessarily disagree with you because, again, I'm not necessarily the strongest college football picker that I can, that I think of myself. But yeah, so I definitely, I don't necessarily disagree with you on that one. What you got over here?
This one is, it's very hard to get in front of this Ohio State team right now. You look at what they've done the last 2 games of the playoffs. That Michigan game is in the background for them. I gave it out last week before the Oregon game. I said take Ohio State +340 to win it all. Hopefully you did. Now, how can I make a case for Texas? So I'm going to try my best here because Ohio State, like I said, they look like a freight train. However, again, look at who they played last week. When they played Oregon, again, the number 1 team in the country, but we were just talking about Penn State. We saw that Big Ten championship game. Penn State was up and down the field, and they haven't done that against anybody. I think that Oregon defense was pretty weak. So when you look at Ohio State and Texas, this Texas team is no joke when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. That's their strength. The D-line is incredible. And I think, again, we're talking about Ohio State's quarterback, Will Howard. Let's not act like he's the second coming of Caleb Williams or Bo Nix.
Whoa, man, come on. This is the Denver Sports Betting Show. You can't do not throw that Caleb Williams hype out here like that, dude.
College Caleb Williams.
Okay. I'll take it. Well, what about college Bo Nix? I'm just saying, whatever. There's a lot of arguments on that one, but okay, continue.
So, but listen, here's the thing. I think, again, little 4D chess here as I'm thinking. This game's in Dallas, all right? Cotton Bowl, Texas. Ohio State fans, they travel, but listen, that's one thing of this playoff system. I mean, you got to go bounce around, neutral site. They need another round of home games. Don't get me started on that. Yeah. But the fans they just went out to Pasadena, and now they know, all right, we're going to play in the national championship. We're going to stay at home. It's going to be bad weather in Texas. They're going to struggle to get into Dallas. So let's save our money. Let's go down to the national championship Atlanta. So I think it's going to be a pretty biased Texas pro crowd. All right. You think Texas ain't showing up for this in the Cotton Bowl. So you're almost getting Texas as a home dog with 6 points. Going into the playoffs, that line would have been 1-2 points. So you're getting a lot of value with the line. And I think Texas is the play with 6. I think Gilly and I are on an island with Texas. But
you know what? That's a super good point, though, because like I said, that is basically a home dog at that point, right? And in college, you got to take that home dog at that, especially if you're talking about a Texas team.
Home
like
dog
this.
and avoiding the recency bias. So just the 2-game sample size. Again, maybe Texas has been playing a little bit possum, because they haven't really opened it up on offense either. So, give me the horns, hook them, plus 6.5. Plus 6.
Let's go, baby. I like it. I love it. Listen, guys, that about wraps up the time that we have for today's show. But again, we hope to see you guys soon. Remember, listen, check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram. You guys have any other shout outs you guys want to give right now or no?
No, man, just follow these guys. These guys, all three, are the top guys. That's why we brought them in on here. They're going to make you some money, but also DM like your bets to us. Like, we want to see what you guys are doing too. And if we, if one hits, send it to us. We'll bring it on the show next time and give you a shout out for sure.
I love it, man. Again, if anybody out there is listening, that you're new to the betting community, listen, man, come on in, man. We welcome everybody, dude. Like I said, we're not going to be, listen, I'm going to be biased against these guys, no question. But everybody else out there, man, let's go. Let's rock.
Yeah, follow us. Yeah, at sham_locks on Instagram.
At Bets in Denver on X and Bets in Denver _ on Instagram.
Let's go. And yeah, I already know, at Gilly the One, baby, no question. Guys, get money, get paid. Thanks for tuning in. See y'all next week.